Welcome to Her Health First Wellness Collective, the space where Black women come to learn, share, and take charge of their health. From tips and resources to real stories, we're tackling the health disparities that affect us the most. Hit subscribe and let's remind each other every day her health comes first. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Her Health First Wellness Collective. Today, we're starting a series that's very close to my heart. I'm sitting down with my sister Tamesha, who's bravely sharing her journey with breast cancer. Sis, thank you so much for being here and being open with us. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling well. How you guys feeling?
Look, we don't got no complaints over here, okay? So let's start from the beginning. Can you share when you first realized that something wasn't quite right? Like what led you to even go to the doctor or whatever it was the first step that you took?
The first step I took that I knew something was wrong was when I couldn't hold up my right arm, and I was in so much pain I couldn't even put it down. So I ended up going to the emergency room. Went to the emergency room. They did some testing. They said that I had fluid on my breast. Then they told me that they were going to do a drainage. Then come to find out they didn't do the drainage, and then I got referred to a breast specialist.
All right. I know that must have been quite crazy because you think about it, you go into the hospital for one thing and they don't even fix it, and then like, you know what, let's send you to the specialist, which what they probably should have done, in the first place. So of course, being diagnosed with breast cancer is life changing. So can you share with us how you've been processing everything emotionally?
Well, I think for me, I've been processing everything pretty well. And the reason being is probably because I've been in pain for like over a year. So I think I'm just finally relieved that I know, what it is, what's going on in my body. And I'm just ready to start the process to get it going so I can just heal and, move forward from this.
I could definitely look. I hear that. I support it. Okay, I'm right there with you. So what's been the hardest part of the journey so far? I know it's still early, but up until this point, what's been the hardest part of the journey?
The hardest part is probably the probably just all the different emotions, all the different thoughts that are going in my head, going through my family's head. Like what are they, like what are they thinking? Like I know it's that it can be very overwhelming for you have to call your family and say, hey mom, hey dad, hey sister, I have breast cancer. It's just definitely have been that part has been heavily on my mind and on my heart, but I know that I have a strong support team, so it's like that's what's pushing me through it, to keeping me going.
Yeah, we're definitely here for you, okay? Because that was going to be my next question. How has your support team, your support system, your family, the little community that we've created here, how have they been helpful, I guess, in this era? And let me tell y'all something first of all, okay? Because she's taking the news better than anybody else, okay? She is, and that's the thing. If you listen to her, she's like, "Oh, how it affects my family, how it affects this," and I mean, Tamisha is like, to know her is to love her. To know her is to love her. Like you cannot not love Tamisha.
Touche.
But how do you feel that we have helped you? The little community we've built, the little extended family that we've built here. How do you feel like they've been helping?
Think for me, the love will overcome anything. So I think that's what it is. That's what it is. Having love, faith,
Hmm.
the resilience. We're thrivers. We've been thrivers our whole life. We had to, fight our whole life. So basically, I feel like with this journey, I can definitely get through it because I do have my my loved ones here, and I have my loved ones that are in Georgia and
Hmm.
Pennsylvania, and all my other friends and family that's all over. So they have definitely been calling and giving me lots of love. I'm praying for me, just keeping me motivated. My daughter as well, my nieces.
Hmm.
And I forgot Texas as well too.
Uh-huh.
They all definitely been supportive. So for that, it's going to keep me going. It's going to keep me strong. And it's still early in the process, and I may have a day where I may, get emotional, and I may break down, but I know that they'll be there to help pick me up.
I'll be there to cry with her because I'm a sympathetic crier, okay? So I'll be there to cry with her. What's one thing you wish people understood about how it feels to be in your position?
Well, for that, I think to be in my position is, I think that would be something, I don't know if you can really fathom it. Think it'll be something that you probably either if you experience it with someone in your own family or your friends go through it, but just to, and if you didn't go through it, if you have someone close to you that been through it, I think you would definitely understand more, because it's going to take a lot for me to get through this, because this is just the beginning of the journey. I still have a long way to go. It's just, after the chemo, I still have to decide whether I'm going to get the lumps removed, or am I going to cut my whole breast off, which I already know the answer to that. And then I still have to do radiation, and then I'm going to still have to do my immunotherapy for like a whole year, and then I think after that I'm going to be on medication. So it's a lot of things that I still have to plan out, because the journey is going to be so long, and because this is still the beginning phase. Still have some things that I need to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you done went on into my next question because I was going to ask you, about your treatment plan and what kind of treatment plan has been laid out for you. But, you already talked about that. And so my next question for you is going to be, what's something about the treatment plan that surprised you, or something that you wish you knew beforehand?
Well, to be honest, I thought I only had to do chemo,
Right.
but when I got the news, it was a lot of information to process. So I did hear when she said I had to go meet with a breast surgeon, and she was like, "Oh, the breast surgeon is part of the team too." But I'm thinking that the breast surgeon was just going to be there if I needed to have surgery.
Right.
But the surgery is a part of my journey.
Right.
But I do have a strong. I'm going to say this: at Tampa General, the Cancer Institution, their team. I have a strong team, and they have. I think they make it easier because they sit and they talk to you. They explain everything to you. They write. She wrote everything down, and which is for me. I can hear you say something, but it's better for me to see it.
Right.
She wrote everything out, so I was able to process it, and I love that they're calling and checking on me.
Right.
They're making sure I have a social worker, I have a nutritionist. I'm even doing genetics, so that way I can know, like why did I get breast cancer? Like what caused it, and
Right.
am I vulnerable to get any other type of cancer anywhere else, like like ovarian cancer or something else. So I am glad that I'm able to figure all of this stuff out, so that way I can know how to, if when I do get my testing results back from genetics, I can know whether or not, hey, I need to go schedule appointments to make sure that my ovaries are okay. And then it would be a good thing for my daughters, my sister, my siblings, as well as my mom, so we can just get a better understanding, being that I was the youngest diagnosed with, cancer in the family.
Yeah, that's crazy. Um, so yeah, it's definitely a journey. But like you said, because I was there for those appointments, my hat goes off to the medical team definitely at the Cancer Institute, because when I tell you, they are some of the nicest, most welcoming, most gentle, and they give you the knowledge, but they give you in different forms. And then like Tamesha said, I mean, you think about it, this all happened, I want to say we found out maybe what, on a Wednesday? It was like a Wednesday. And by what, Friday, she had already had a breast. Well, actually, when her doctor called her, the appointment with the breast surgeon was already scheduled. Then the next week, we went to the oncologist. The oncologist said, "Hey, okay, yep, we'll see you next week for chemo." So that happened, and then I think we went to the gym, and I went to the gym, and while I was in the gym, I got a notification. She put in the calendar, it was like her nutritionist appointment, her port placement appointment. So many things happening in such a small space of time. And I do love that Dr. Risk and the ARNP Rebecca and then the nurse Rebecca, they did an awesome job explaining everything and took the time to talk to us and, ask if we have questions. And of course, in the beginning, it's like, you don't know what you don't know, you don't know what to ask. But, my hat definitely goes off to them because they are an awesome, awesome team. Awesome team. So, finally, breast cancer awareness is such an important topic, especially for us Black women. So, what advice would you give to other women about advocating for their health?
Oh, definitely. For me, because I have density D breast, I would say if you do have density D breast, you when you do the mammograms, like for me, I can only speak on myself, but for me, the mammograms does no justice for me. They see things, but what they're seeing is just my tissues. So then the testing, it gets all confusing. Mm-hmm. They don't really know they don't know where to biopsy, so it gets all confusing. I would say the ultrasound did give a little more information, mm-hmm. but it wasn't enough information for them to help me. What really helped me was the MRI. So I would say if you have a density D breast, definitely push for ultrasound and a MRI, so that way they can know exactly where to pinpoint, exactly. And that way they can go ahead and do the biopsy. Then you could find out, like, hey, do I have breast cancer, or do I have what's going on, or is it just hormonal changes?
Right.
Because in my left breast, I also have a mass in my left breast, but come to find out, it's not breast cancer.
Right.
My cancer is only in the right breast.
Right. Right. And then for, me as someone who also has dense breasts, I have been through a myriad of mammograms, ultrasounds, MRIs, MRI. I even had an MRI guided biopsy. But all of mine came back as fibroadenomas. And, we both have fibrocystic breasts. And, that's what happens. Most of the time there's nothing, but, there's that off chance that, it will be something that it is something. So definitely push. So what do you think has made the biggest difference in your journey so far? Again, we talked about that it's early, but do you think it's early detection, your care team, or something else? Like you pushing for this additional testing. What do you think has made the biggest difference so far?
I think it would probably be everything. Definitely being aware of the different testing that, especially for the density of your breast.
Right.
I think if I'm not mistaken, they just made it like a law or a requirement that your doctor have to let you know the density of your breast, because that is very important to know.
Because I don't know mine.
If you're like an A or B, it's easier for them to see things on on your mammogram.
Right.
But like maybe when you get to the C and D in density, mine is very
right.
dense. I was told mine is one of the densest that they have ever seen.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of everyone said the same thing, and I know that it is dense because I can feel how heavy my breasts feel.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel how heavy my breasts feel, and I can feel the density.
Right.
So I would say, that it's part of who's on your side, like the team. You make sure you find someone that they will listen to your concerns,
Absolutely.
listen to your requests, your problems.
Absolutely.
If you don't know something, make sure you ask. I mean, I would say Google, but Google pulls a lot of information, and it's good to know. I use Google. It's good to know, because then that way, if I see someone may have a similar situation, I can say, "Hey, doc, I was reading online that I seen this article and this is what it said. How do
Right.
you feel about it? You know,
Right.
let them give you recommendations because they're the specialists.
Right.
So, and then you know, as far as you know, your support system also plays a big role because you're going to need help. Like I don't know if I'm going to be too nauseous or too sick to move around or to
Right.
do things on my own. I know I do have to take it a little slow, and that for me, that's probably going to be one of my biggest challenges is sitting down because I usually don't sit down.
Absolutely.
But this may force me to sit down and actually listen
Right.
this time because you know I'm going to be going through such a tremendous changes dealing with the chemo. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, I even have a prescription to get a wig.
Oh
So
yes, I
just
forgot
in
about that.
case
Yeah.
my hair was to fall out or anything,
Yeah.
I do have a prescription to get a wig where they work with different boutiques that
Mm-hmm.
will make me a custom wig.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely keep you guys posted to let you know um, did my hair fall out, hair remain the same. And before the end of the video, I will get on camera so that y'all can see who is speaking, put a face to the voice. I'll definitely do so.
Okay. All right. So, love that. And I forgot about the wig. I was very amazed. I was very amazed by that. I was amazed by the fact that they had a prescription for a wig and that the insurance works, that the boutiques work with insurance. And I think it's a wonderful thing. But it's like, wow, so I was very excited about that. So, how do you hope that sharing your story will help others?
Well, I definitely hope it will reach someone that may be experiencing the same thing, where they're, you know, where they have like this pain in their breast, but they
Mm-hmm.
just can't explain it. Sometimes it feels better. Like for me, it feels better like once my cycle comes on, it's like that week after that, the pain would be the most tolerable.
Mm-hmm.
But then for the 3 weeks of the rest of the month, it's like it becomes unbearable because I was going through it for so long. It became my normal. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, so for me, if I'm able to share my story, maybe someone that's going through that, maybe it can push you or motivate you to to go say, hey doc, I really need you to go look at this, or can we
Right.
go schedule the if I got to go through the mammogram, because some insurance make you do the mammogram before you can
Mm-hmm.
do the ultrasound
Mm-hmm.
and the MRI. But make sure you just stand on business and tell them, hey, I want to make sure that I get this testing so I
Right.
can make sure that is nothing wrong that you're not seeing, that the maybe the ultrasound didn't see,
Absolutely.
or the mammogram didn't see. So
Right.
I hope that it does reach someone.
Right.
So maybe that way they don't have to wait like a full year like myself, because I'm pushing a year to
Right.
from the day that I had this issue. Actually, next month will make a year.
Yeah.
That so I've been going through this for a long time, for a long time, and I won't want nobody to go through this because it's very uncomfortable.
Right.
You try to be normal, but you know something is wrong, but you really don't know what it is because you're like, well, the typical, breast cancer symptoms is like, oh, you have discharge. I don't have discharge,
Right.
to be honest. They
The
say
orange peel
the orange
breast.
peel breast, I didn't have any of that.
Right.
So only thing I did have was like the soreness and the
Mm-hmm.
inflammation. I was told I had
Cellulitis.
cellulitis.
Mm-hmm.
I was told it was fluid on my breast. I was told it was a abscess.
Mm-hmm.
I have none of those.
Right.
So that's so that's the thing. So when you hear, it's like you're listening to what they're telling you,
Right.
but sometimes you know your body better than anyone else. So you
Absolutely.
have to be also an advocate for yourself,
Yes.
and hopefully I can reach someone that may be going through something, and they may think that is nothing, that it may not be that serious, because
Right.
I didn't think it was going to be serious either. I
Right.
thought it was hormonal because my sister also go through similar
Mm-hmm.
symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why I didn't really think, oh, it's breast cancer.
Right.
No, that was never a thought in my mind. But now now I know, now I'm here to at least do my due diligence and let someone else be aware, and hopefully they won't have to, go through it, because we're fighting for all cancers, not only breast cancers.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I want to thank you so much for sharing your story, and your strength and transparency are definitely going to inspire and educate so many women. But before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share? Would you like to do a little cameo? Come on over here.
I can definitely.
She over here. If y'all keep seeing me look over here, that's why, because she's over here. Come on, just pop in. You should be good. Just, yeah. Yeah, you should be good. Look at her.
Hey, family.
Come on, look
Hi.
at her. Look at her.
This is Tamesha. So I will be keeping y'all updated. I will be seeing y'all, and I do start chemo tomorrow. Yes. And I got my port today, and it's a little uncomfortable, a little discomfort, camera towards you just but it's doable.
Yeah.
So I will let y'all know how I feel after chemo. It's going to be a long day, so I probably be tired. But with God on our side, with all the support I have, I know I'm going to get through this.
Absolutely.
And so will anybody else that's going through this.
Absolutely.
Okay. Love, peace, and hope.
All right. So to everyone who's watching or who's listening, let's show Tamesha all of our love and support in the comments. And remember, early detection saves lives. Saves lives. I can't talk today. So take care of yourselves and each other. And we'll keep sharing updates and resources as part of this journey. So stay tuned. And thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here with us. So we'll see you soon. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you found this helpful, like, share, and subscribe for more. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. And remember, her health comes first. See y'all next time.